In this video, I am going to talk about DHCP server. So let's begin. A DHCP server is a network server that automatically provides and assigns IP addresses, default gateways, and other network parameters to client devices. It relies on the standard protocol known as Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol or DHCP to respond to broadcast queries by clients. A DHCP server automatically sends the required network parameters for clients to properly communicate on the network. Without it, the network administrator has to manually set up every client that joins the network, which can be cumbersome especially in large networks. DHCP servers usually assign each client with a unique dynamic IP address, which changes when the client's lease for that IP address has expired. When to use a router or switch as your DHCP server? There are many enterprise companies who are still using DHCP for IP version 4 on their routers or switches. This is typically done by the network administrator who needs to get a DHCP capability up and running quickly but doesn't have access to a DHCP server. Most routers or switches have the ability to provide the following DHCP server support. A DHCP client obtain an interface IP version 4 address from an upstream DHCP service. A DHCP relay and forward UDP DHCP messages from clients on a LAN. Running a DHCP server on a router or switch consumes resources on the network device. These DHCP packets are handled in software. The resources required make this practice not suitable for a network with a large number of DHCP clients. Doesn't support dynamic DNS. The router or switch DHCP server cannot create any entry into DNS on behalf of the client based on the IP version 4 address that was leased to the client. It is more difficult to configure DHCP options on router or switch platform. The DHCP service running on a router or switch is not integrated with IP address management (IPAM) for addressing tracking and scope utilization or security forensics. The benefits of a dedicated DHCP server. A better approach than trying to use DHCP on your router or switch is to use a centralized DHCP server. This is particularly true for network environments that require support of both DHCP for IP version 4 and DHCP for IP version 6 at the same time. Virtually all DHCP server vendors support both protocols, so you can use the same management interface for IP version 4 and IP version 6. There are several benefits that make it advantageous for an enterprise to use DHCP version 6. Having a DHCP version 6 server that is integrated into your IP address management IPAM system for IP version 6 gives visibility to the IP version 6 enabled client nodes. DHCP servers provide logging and management interfaces that aid administrators manage their IP address scopes. Your organization will want an accounting of what is on your network, regardless of IP version being used. DHCP servers can provide high availability. If one DHCP server were to fail, the clients will preserve their current IP addresses and not cause an interruption for the end nodes. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys will be benefited by this video. Stay tuned by subscribing our channel.